Ladies and gentlemen, what we're gonna make right now is our pan-seared sirloin steak with roasted sweet potato mash and arugula salad. So right now, what we're gonna do is to first prep our sweet potatoes, because our sirloin steak is gonna be pan-seared, and that takes less than 5 minutes to do. Our sweet potato mash, however, takes half an hour, so we need to get that done first. Split it in half. Alright, do the same with the next one. Split it in half again. Right, so all you've got to do right now is to put your sweet potatoes on an aluminum foil. We're gonna season it and it's gonna roast in the skins. We don't need to remove the skins from the sweet potatoes, because after that it's gonna just roast for half an hour. We can take it off the skin and make our mash. Very simple, saves you all the washing up, saves time from peeling. All you need is just a bit of salt, season on both sides, just a bit of cracked black pepper, just a few twists, olive oil. And to make your sweet potato mash stand out from the rest, just get a bag of dried herbs, sprinkle them onto your sweet potatoes. Now we're gonna wrap it. You need to come. So just wrap it in, so just pack it in, and then twist. Like one of those Christmas poppers. So just twist. Now your sweet potatoes are not only gonna roast, they're also gonna steam in this pouch. Put it in a preheated oven, 200 degrees Celsius for half an hour. In the meantime, we can deal with our salad and also our beef. Before we cook our beef, we're gonna make our salad dressing first that goes on top of our arugula. Very simple. Olive oil, balsamic vinegar, salt, and black pepper. That's it. To make the perfect salad dressing is to get the ratios of each of the ingredients correct. 3 parts oil, any type of oil that you like. 1 part acid, any type of acid you like. You can use lemon juice, you can use balsamic vinegar, white wine vinegar, red wine vinegar, whatever you have, alright? And then just salt and pepper. Very simple. 3 tablespoons of olive oil, extra virgin if possible. I've got balsamic vinegar today, so just 1. Just a bit of salt, sprinkle from the top, make sure you get even coating around each corner. Black pepper for heat. That's enough. And just start whisking. And what you're looking for right now is just to emulsify the fat and the vinegar together. Alright? To get a really nice salad dressing like this. You must be wondering why I'm not dressing the salad right now before I cook the beef. The thing is, if I were to dress my salad right now, because arugula is such a soft herb, a soft vegetable, the acidity from the balsamic vinegar from our salad dressing is just gonna draw all the moisture out from our salad, and what you're left with is salad that's wilted and a pile of water at the end of your bowl. We do not want that in our salad. Let's move on to our steaks. Let's talk steak. So what I have here today is 2 really nice chops of sirloin steak. Look at that, nice and beautiful. Now the key to cooking a good steak is 1, make sure that your beef has time to rest at room temperature before you cook it. Because if you were to cook it directly out of the fridge, what you're gonna end up with is meat that's all the way on the outside, but inside it's still raw. So we do not want that. Really simple. All I have here in terms of seasoning is just salt and black pepper. That's all you need. Do not muck around with any other spices until you know how to cook the steak correctly. You need to get the timing of the steak right. Now, the reason why I chose sirloin steaks is because they're quite cheap. I've got 5 sirloin steaks for 10 quid, and that's a really good deal for my butcher. Steaks, always go to your butchers when there's a sale. Be good friends with your butchers. He'll teach you how to cook your meat. All you need is just salt from the top. Make sure that every single bit is covered with salt. Alright? The worst thing about beef is over or undercooked and not well seasoned. The salt, that way your steak will be nice and brown. It's not going to be too salty. Just a little bit. Now flip. And we're gonna season the other side as well. On the top, make sure it's nicely seasoned. Now let's cook. Make sure your pan is nice and smoking hot. Alright, I cannot emphasize that extremely more, because if you don't get it nice and hot, the temperature, the cooking of the beef will be totally off, and what you're gonna get is either an overcooked piece of beef that does not taste good at all, or something that's undercooked and raw. Alright? Nice high heat. High heat is key. And then the oil that we're gonna use today is still vegetable oil. While cooking anything on high heat, we're not gonna use an oil that it has a low smoke point like olive oil, because it has the tendency to burn and become black and give a weird flavor to your food. So go for a neutral oil that has a high smoke point like sunflower oil or canola oil. So our pan is nice and hot. And in terms of flavoring the beef even more, all we need room temperature butter and herbs. We're gonna add that as we're cooking our beef. And also make sure that you have a timer ready by your side, because we're gonna time our steaks at equal times. Cook them 1.5 minutes on one side and flip it, cook it another 1.5 minutes on the other side. So make sure the timing is correct to get the perfect steak. 3, 2, 1. Take the other one. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Lay away from you, you won't burn your hands. Now the key message here is, do not touch your steak. Let it brown in our high heat. Because if you were to just take your tongs and start flipping with your steak, it's not going to cook properly. So stay away. The timing of the cooking of your steak depends on the thickness of your steak. So, with my steak, it's going to take 1.5 minutes on each side. With yours, if you get something that's thicker, it's going to take longer to cook. If your steak is slightly thinner, it's going to take such a shorter time to cook. So timing is key with cooking steak. Alright, let's flip our steak. You can see, nice and brown, a bunch of butter. And we're gonna put our dry herbs in to season our meat. And what you wanna do right now is to let the butter melt in the pan with our herbs. And what you wanna do is just baste. Tilt it towards one side. Baste. Baste your meat in all that nice herby butter. Basting your meat in this herb butter is just gonna give it so much more flavor. I can see all the brown butter forming right now. Give our steaks nice color. Alright, and how do you tell if your steak's cooked to your liking? If it's raw, it's just gonna go in and has no resistance. Whereas if I want my steak rare, it's gonna go in, slight resistance. If I touch it right now, it has that bounce, it has that resistance. It means it's medium rare, medium right now. So I'm gonna take it off I'm gonna take it off the pan. Whoa. And just lay on all that nice warm butter. And what you want to do right now is to rest your steak. Do not play with it. Do not cut open into it right now, because if you were to cut it open, all the juices will leak out. Your steak is going to be dry, and we don't want that, alright? By letting it rest at the same time, with the same amount of time you cook, so 3 minutes, we're going to use that 3 minutes to rest our steak, and allows the juices to go back through all the muscle fibers in the steak, making it really, really juicy. Fast forward half an hour later, and I'm going to show you what the results of our sweet potato. Take a look at that. Our sweet potato, nicely roasted, sweet. This is not this is not something that you can get by just boiling your sweet potatoes. Trust me, the time is worth it. Just scoop it off. Take a look at that. It smells so good already. And to make the perfect mash, cold unsalted butter. So just Nice and generous. 2 dollops. Just a bit of milk. There we go. And then whisk away. And by doing this with the whisk, it incorporates air, it breaks up all the lumps, all the remaining lumps from the sweet potato to give it that nice smooth mash. See, you can see that it's become so nice, it's become so creamy. Let's just have a taste. It's so sweet, you know, by roasting it, we concentrated all the flavor. The sweet potato is not just one note. Set this to one side. Now let's assemble. We've got our nicely cooked steaks right here. It's the moment of truth to see. It's beautifully brown on the outside. It's been cooked in the herb butter. It has time to rest, let all the juices, you know, reintegrate back into the muscle fibers. It's now really juicy. Now in terms of cutting the steak, you have to follow the muscle fibers. Alright. You can see that with this steak, the meat fibers are running through along those lines. And what you want to do is to cut against the grain. Alright? Because if you were to cut with the grain, the muscles are going to contract and the juices are going to leak out. Your meat is going to be dry. Oh, beautiful. It's nice and medium rare. It's pink. Take a look at that. Nice and pink. That is what we want. It's going to be so tasty. Just gonna cut one slice for myself. Nice and juicy. So good. Now let's plate up. So just lay it across. Oh, beautiful. Nice and pink. We cooked at room temperature. Nice high heat pan. You know, nice and medium rare. Cooked it in herb butter. Just lay it nicely. You've taken all of that effort to cook and now it's time to enjoy. So just lay it nicely with the pink steak. That's so good. Get our side dishes as well. We've got our really nice roasted sweet potato mash, and to finish things off, we're gonna dress our salad. And with that, now you must be thinking, Kenneth, you're making way too little dressing. Now the thing is, with salad dressing you don't need too much, because what it's gonna do, because of that acidity, is gonna draw the moisture out from your vegetables. If you put too much in, your vegetables are just gonna wilt really quickly, and what you're left with is a pile of salad water, which is not what we want. Alright, so that amount of dressing is enough for our salad. And with the perfect salad, it's just the right amount, just a nice thin layer of salad dressing, well coated onto each and every one of the leaves. Look at that, just nicely coated. Complements well with our salty steak, with our sweet potatoes. You've got the freshness and pepperiness and the bitterness from our arugula. We've got the sourness, the brightness from the balsamic vinegar. Ladies and gentlemen, our steak dinner. Nice and tender, juicy. So good. Let's try our mash. Nice and sweet, complements well with our beef. Nice and peppery. Cameraman.
Delicious.
That's good, yeah! There we go, even the cameraman says it's delicious. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our pan-seared sirloin steak with roasted potato mash and arugula salad. Definitely a recipe that you should try. Thank you guys for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, comment on the link below. For all you PCMD students out there, there's a feedback form for you guys to fill in through SurveyMonkey. Please fill that up. And peace. See you, ladies and gentlemen.